What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Blue River Bow Hunting Podcast, episode 128. My guest this week is Payton Graham from Alabama. What's going on, dude?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Not too bad. Not as good as you are. I got to hunt the Tennessee Velvet this past weekend myself. Didn't turn out like I had hoped or even get into anything like that. Weather was a huge factor where I was at, but
Yeah, for sure.
Peyton's a man. Peyton got it done twice this weekend, man. I mean, that's incredible. Congratulations, by the way.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, that's incredible. $2 and I mean, we'll get to the stories here in a little bit, but did you have any kind of expectations going into that weekend where you thought you could get two?
No, not at all. I mean, that second deer that I was after, we had a lot of history, and that first deer that I shot opening morning, I had no pictures, no recent trail camera pictures, none the previous year. We did a lot of killing the previous year. We took 7 bucks off our one little area, so
Nice.
I guess new bucks had moved in, and he's made it his home.
That's awesome, man. For somebody that doesn't know you, Peyton, introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so my name's Payton Graham. I live here in Florence, Alabama. I run a hunting store at 7 Points Outdoors, located in 7 Points in Florence. I'm a dealer of Black Widow deer lures, Gold Digger wild game attractant, Blackgate sail cans. I mean, you name it, if I got it.
That's awesome. What made you start 7 Points Outdoors? How'd you get into that?
Yeah, so our local Field and Stream had closed down. They got rid of their hunting industry and they went strictly into fishing. So right then and there, I knew it was a no-brainer, and that's what made it come about, and that's why I started.
That's awesome, man. Does anybody else help you kind of run things, or you do pretty much everything solo?
I do it solo, man.
That's awesome. You work on bows and stuff like that too?
No, so actually, I've got a bow tech that he's the best in the business, man. People from all over the country bring their stuff to him. He builds custom arrows, full tunes, does the whole 9 yards. His name's Kalen Pope with Arrows Anonymous.
That's awesome, man. It's always good to have somebody like that in your
Oh
disposal
yeah,
for your shop and stuff like that. Because when you get a rapport, especially with somebody like that, where people come from all over to get their bows worked on, that's just only
yeah,
going to open opportunities for you and get people in your business.
yeah, for sure. I can't tell you how many guys come in asking if I work on bows, and I recommend them to him.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about going and doing some of the schooling stuff and being able to work on them a little bit?
I not really. I feel I would not be as good as this man. I mean, he's top of the line. He knows what he's talking about. He knows everything about him. So
Yeah, that's hard shoes to fill there, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
So how did you get started in the outdoors, and how did it all come about to being in outdoors?
Yeah. So growing up, my dad he was in the Marine Corps and he was a machine gunner, and so he liked guns. We'll put it that way.
Sounds like it.
So yeah, we I started going with him when I was 6, 7, 8 year old, and harvested my first deer when I was 8, and then I fell in love with it from there and just took off.
Yeah. Did you start right off the bat with deer, or was it like
Yeah,
one of those
yeah.
days? Oh,
I
nice.
went deer hunting, and then one thing led to another. Started going dove hunting, and then but mainly nothing could top deer hunting in my book.
Oh, for sure. A lot of people they start off with like small game, like squirrels, and then it leads into deer, and that leads into turkey, and then that leads into waterfowl.
Yeah,
And the next thing you know, you're hunting everything that moves or flies or crawls.
yeah, for sure. I started going with him to put feed out and stuff like that when I was 4. We had a place out in Waterloo for a little while, and I'd go out there with him when I was just a little youngin'.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome, man.
yeah,
So, how did you get hooked up on the Tennessee Velvet? Is it a place you have permission on, or how did that work out?
so it's private. We've got a 40-acre parcel up there in Lawrence County.
Okay. Awesome. What kind of setup? Tell us a little bit about the property and how how it flows and the terrain of it and all that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's rolling hills and hollers.
Yeah.
So we're covered in, we've got soybean fields and corn fields. about less than a quarter mile, 2 mile, half a mile down the road. And so, um, I'm set up right beside a cow pasture. The neighbor, he's got cows and just big fields. And so I'm set up on the back end of the property there. And my neighbor's got just a grew up field full of briars and stuff like that. I mean, and so they funnel all through back there. It's on a ridgetop flat.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got an easement road that I can just easy access, walk right to it, and just dip off in there without spooking them out.
Yeah, having an easement road like that's money. I mean, access to a property where
Yeah,
you're not going to be bumping everything out or making a whole bunch of noise and stuff like that. That can be
yeah,
money right there. Do you think maybe those bucks were they bedded close to there, or is it just a pinch and a funnel where they were moving from point A to point B?
yeah. So it's basically a funnel. It's a travel corridor. That second buck that I shot during the velvet season, he's a super smart deer. I'm just going to be honest with you. He was a 5 year old, and I couldn't hunt him in the mornings. I went in Friday morning. I was dead set on going after him, and I got in there at 5 a.m. I said, "All right, this is the day." And right at first light, I just so happened to look over my shoulder. I had a northeast wind, and it was blowing in my face. And he bedded down on. He always beds on that hillside behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just so happened to look over my shoulder, and I seen him about 80 yards away, and he caught my wind and blew, and never seen him for the rest of the day. So
Oh man.
yeah, so right then and there, I was discouraged. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, man, my hunt's already over before it even started. And um, about let's see, seen the first solid 8 point at about 7:30 that morning.
Mm-hmm.
I watched him feed on acorns for 15, 20 minutes, and he went over, hit the scrape for a second, and then he left. I didn't see anything again until about 8 o'clock, 8:30. I had a doe and a fawn walk out, and I told myself, all right, I'm not seeing many mature bucks. I'm not seeing any good shooters. At 8:45, if I don't see anything, I'm getting down. It's getting hot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So those does, the doe and the fawn were just sitting there, and they just looked past me, and I remember hearing grunting, just rrr, 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 just little short grunts, like never heard it before in my life the way I heard it, and I just hear ka-tum, 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 ka-tum. And I'm like, what is she looking at? And then I hear turkeys. I'm like, oh, it's probably turkeys. It's just turkeys.
Yeah.
So I look over my shoulder. I see two 8 points, a 6 point, and a 7 point come walking down the easement road. And I'm like, where are you at? Come on. You got to be with them. You got to be with them.
All right.
And that's when I look over my right shoulder and I see that first 8 point come walking down. I'm like, oh my gosh. I've never seen this deer before in my life. And he come in, he walked up right up underneath my stand at 5 yards. I said, no, I'm not taking that shot. I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks out to 10, and I get Drew back. He goes out to 15. I stop him. He's quartering away. I shoot over his back
Oh man.
at 15 yards. He takes off. He didn't know what happened. He's stomping. He's blowing. He's probably 80 to 100 yards away at this point. And I'm like, come on, give me another chance. Give me one more shot. One more shot. And so he turns back, and he looks at me at the direction of where the shot come from. And I'm 30 feet up in the tree, so I was out of their line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there, he's looking in my direction. He starts flickering his tail. He brushes it off, I guess, and he comes walking back.
Wow.
And he goes along the fence line, cuts across in front of me. He's probably 60 yards at this point, and he comes walking up the fence row. And I range him. I'm like 38, 42. All right, so I'm just put that 40-yard pin on and let him ride and double lunged him. Went 30 yards. Yeah.
That's insane. Grunting though, that's crazy. I've
Yes.
never heard of them doing, especially in August.
Yeah.
That's wild.
He-
Did you hear vocalization like that even in August?
Oh yeah, I was blown away. I'd never heard anything like that early on.
Yeah, no kidding. What kind of setups? You said you were 30 foot in a tree. Were you just using a climber?
No, I actually use a lock-on stand.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I just got two sets of sticks and
Hmm.
combine them together.
Yeah, I'll say you're way up there.
Yeah, yeah, man. I wasn't making the same mistake as last year. I'll get into that here in just a second on this next year when we talk about him.
Yeah. Uh, Actually, I didn't go as high as I really wanted to the first morning on Friday morning because there was some vines on the tree and it had like green coming off of it. And
Yeah,
I got to about, I don't know, 14, 15 feet. And I had a real good background. And then I had that vine on that thing. And I thought, man, I don't have to really even use another stick. I could have, but I felt real comfortable at the, 15, 16 foot mark because one side was a grass field and the other side was like a creek bed. So the creek bed was a lot, I don't know, I'd say 5 foot lower than the one side of the field. So it was kind of at an angle
yeah,
anyway. So I
yeah.
thought if I'm shooting on the creek side, I'm already going to be
See,
shooting at
that's
20 feet or something.
See, that's how it is. The elevation change of where I'm sitting. That's why I had to go up that extra 5 to 10 feet. Is because
Yeah.
based off the terrain, if he's standing to my left, that elevation is going to drop, and I'm gonna be sitting up higher, and he's gonna be kind of almost getting eye level with me. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, but yeah, I can't believe I missed him at 15 yards and then gave me another shot for sure.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy,
yeah,
because you're like you would think, like 15-yard chip shot. I got this. I could
yeah,
hit this
yeah,
all day. I do it in the yard, and then it's like you get
because
in that pressure cooker situation, and you're like,
yeah,
man, I just blew it. But then he gives you another opportunity, and you're
I
probably
never. I'll be honest with you, man. I took maybe 4 shots at 40 all year long when I was practicing.
right, especially in that velvet season. You're not expecting to have
No, not at
that
all.
far of a shot. My furthest shot where I was hunting was about 30 yards, and that was
Yeah,
really kind of pushing it. Really.
for sure.
What kind of bow do you got? What kind of setup are you running?
So I'm running a Bear Legend XR
Hmm.
23 model. I took it in about 3 weeks before the velvet season. Took it to my boy Pope at Arrows Anonymous, and uh, because when I was practicing, man, I was stretching it out and I was slapping the target sideways with my arrows because it kept trying to correct itself. And
Wow.
I was like, man, I gotta go see him. I gotta get a tune on this thing, because
Yes.
I want to make sure this thing's right.
Oh, for sure. Like, especially were they newer arrows?
Yeah, so they were Easton Black Max.
Okay, I got you. I know
Yeah,
sometimes
340.
people have quite a bit of trouble with newer arrows. Maybe they hadn't shot yet or
Yeah.
whatever. And then, were you practicing with broadheads or without broadheads?
So I was practicing with 100 grain field tips
I got you.
for about the first. I started shooting in June
Hmm.
and just shot, 3 times a week. And then I would say about 2 weeks before the Velvet opener, I was shooting strictly broadheads.
Hmm. Yeah, it's wild that it would come in there that far sideways. That's
Yeah,
something was way off on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was off bad.
What I mean, how was the weather there? I know, like in years past, the last couple of years that I've hunted that, it's been stupid hot. I mean, and the weather
Yeah,
wasn't as bad this past weekend as it had been in years past.
yeah. So Thursday night, I was getting ready. I was getting my clothes, getting my gear laid out, and I went on my HuntWise app and I was checking to see what the wind direction was going to be, and it was a northeast wind, and the barometric pressure was 29.98, right at that 30 mark. So
That's good.
that's rising pressure, good pressure, um, and next thing I know, I get in there and he's behind me and blew me out. So,
I didn't even
but
check the pressure on Friday. I know
yeah,
Saturday, I think right around the noon mark where I was at, it dropped tremendously with
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it
that
was
front that
65
came
that
in.
morning. It
Yeah.
was 65 degrees that morning. So uh, it was pre front, and the front hit us this week after the velvet season, which
Yeah,
is
I know. It,
crazy.
it was we were laughing on the way home when we left Tennessee yesterday. My truck read 92 or 93. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah,
And when we pulled in the driveway when we got home, my thing said 74. I was like, man,
yeah, it
like it,
drops off.
yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Well, let's hear the second story.
yeah.
Did
So
you play out Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday,
Okay.
this is a good one, man. This is my favorite story to this day.
Let's hear it.
So going back to 2021 when we bought the property, um, we didn't hunt much. We were still trying to figure out the place,
Mm-hmm.
and we hunted maybe once or twice at the place, and we didn't really see anything. We just kind of went out there just to
Yeah.
see what it was like. 2022 comes around, EHD outbreak.
Oh man.
Found 14 dead bucks
Wow.
between the neighbors that I'd had on camera, and they were sending me these pictures of these dead bucks, and I'm like, man, I just had him on camera 3 days ago. And so once they started coming in and I started seeing the pictures, I got discouraged. I was like, man, our deer density's going down, and I ended up shooting he's about 115-inch 8 pointer that year, and then that was it. That was
Mm-hmm.
it. That there was no good deer at all. And the 2023 season didn't shoot anything. Didn't have any good quality sits.
Mm-hmm.
We had a pretty bad drought that year, and we didn't have the mass crop production as what we normally would have.
Mm-hmm.
And those feed trees, man, they no acorns, no persimmons, nothing. And so didn't shoot anything then either. Season ends January the 7th. My camera goes off, and I get a picture of this buck. I'm like, I'm gonna keep him in the back of my mind.
Right.
And so I go out shed hunting, and I found a set of sheds. They the neighbor actually shot this one the following year, but he was a good deer.
Yeah.
Um, he was the oldest in the group for sure.
Yeah. It's hard to when you come off that EHD like that. It's hard to
Yeah,
keep the herd quality high like it once was.
yeah, for sure. And then I started debating on whether or not that spring if I should run any minerals or anything like that because I just wanted to play it safe. I didn't want to make them even more sick, and even though it's transmitted through water, but still, I didn't want them to catch anything else. I just wanted to play it safe.
Yeah.
Um, so 2024 season comes rolling around, and that deer that showed up after the after the 22 season, he's just, I mean, 12-inch G2s. I mean, he's about a 115, and he had mad potential.
Mm-hmm.
And I go do the velvet hunt, and I have him at 20 yards broadside. I had 16 bucks in front of me.
Wow.
Yeah, this was August 23rd of the 2020. Yeah, this was the 24 season. So had 16 bucks in front of me, had 8 doe coming down the easement road, and I thought I was in the clear. Had him 20 yards broadside. I go to draw back, and there was another doe behind me that busted me,
Oh man.
and she blew me out, and they took off. I wasn't in the stand an hour. It was about 5:30 at this time. I closed shop at 5. I got up there quick, and man, I was just tore up. So then flashing forward to um, October the 25th. October the 25th was the day that I had the next encounter with him.
Mm-hmm.
Before I got in the stand, I got there at about 3 o'clock. I went in, refreshed my scrapes with some branch butter, and put in some Dominator.
Mm-hmm.
And about an hour into the sit, he comes walking up the ridge. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna get another crack at him. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. So I'm drew back on this deer at 15 yards for about a minute while he's working the scrape because he was out of my line of sight. I could just see him moving the branches, and
Right.
I got fatigued out and I punched
Oh
and I
man,
hit him high.
dang.
I tracked him for about 300 yards. I thought I had good penetration. I had about 7 or 8 inches of penetration, and I hit the dead zone.
Dang.
And so, never seen him again until 2 weeks later. He showed up with just a nasty scar on the top of his back,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a pretty harsh winter. And I told myself, I said, he's not going to make it. I'm going to find him dead in the spring. He's not going to make it. So I put my cameras back out and I get my mineral sights fired up in May, and never had a picture of him, not until July the 20th this year. And I immediately knew it was him when he showed up. I seen the scar on his back and I said, holy cow, this deer just blew up for an 8 pointer. And since then and there, I started putting the pieces together from previous history. I said, this is an evening deer. I'm not going to kill him in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so, obviously it's the opener. I'm going to go in there on opening morning anyway,
Right.
just to see what's going on. So I go in there and he blew me out. And then that's when I shot that 1 8 point. And then going flashing forward to Saturday, my dad, he's got a house on the place.
Mm-hmm.
And so I swung by. I got my mom to come work the shop for me. And I knew today was going to be the day. I knew it was going to be the day.
That's awesome, man.
And I got in the stand at about 3:45. Refresh the scrapes again before. And I kid you not, almost to the time at the same time last season, he comes walking in. Same day, 5 to 10 minutes off schedule as last year.
That's insane.
And he come walking in broadside at 15 yards, and I go to draw back, and then he starts to quarter away. He starts picking up my thermals because we've got a creek that runs through down towards the east, and he come in from the northwest, and he started circling, get downwind of me, and he started to pick up my thermals. I said, if I'm going to let it fly, I got to let it fly. And so I took a 1/4 shot at 15 yards and punched through that front shoulder and double lunged him.
That's insane. Usually I wouldn't say usually, a lot of times you hear stories if you were to hit that, that dead zone and leave a wound like that. Sometimes they'll build some kind of characteristic or whatever on the opposite side
Of where
uh,
you hit him.
of where you hit him of that
Yeah.
injury. It's crazy that he didn't do that. And he blew up, which is even
Yeah.
better for you. You know what I mean? But very
Oh,
cool
yeah.
story, man. I mean, that's insane that you were able to
Yeah.
basically get the same shot 2 years in a row on the same deer almost at the exact same time.
I know it, man. He'll be done, and they'll both of my bucks will be done in 3 weeks. I've got a buddy of mine out in Red Bay. His name's Justin Roberts. He does awesome work. He's only been in the taxidermy game for 4 years, but he does the best work I've ever seen.
That's awesome. Was he covered up real bad with mites and stuff?
Man, bot flies,
Oh yeah.
eggs, you name it. I was like, this is gross. I never would have found him, and because he ran across into the neighbor's field, and it was just grew up in thick briars, and I mean it was probably 4.5, 5 feet tall, just thick underbrush. I mean, I found him because of the flies, the cow flies just swarming over the top of him. I said, what is that noise? Because I didn't have any blood.
That's insane.
I had no blood. I just followed him to where he went out onto the neighbor's property. And I called up my neighbor. I said, "Hey man, I just shot it. I just had a surprise visitor come by." And he said, "Go over there and get him. Send me a picture."
That's awesome.
So I tracked him and tracked him. I was like, "Where did he go?" And so I waited about another 20 minutes, and then I just started hearing the flies, and then it took me right to him.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Going back on something you said with the whole branch butter and stuff like that, do you think you running those mock scrapes like that can attest to him bringing him in in an early season setup like that?
Absolutely. So I started running my scrapes. Every year I start my scrapes in the spring around April.
Okay.
And so what that does is I'll start off with branch butter and
Hmm.
young buck, and then I'll use that all the way up into the start of the velvet season.
Okay.
And I'll keep them refreshed every time I go in there. And then as the year progresses on, when they start shedding their velvet, testosterone levels are starting to rise.
Right.
That's when I start transitioning over into Scrape Master. It's got that buck tarsal gland, interdigital, and hennadoestrus.
Hmm.
And so I'll start topping that off with it. And then after October, I'll keep using the Scrape Master till about Halloween, and then I'll start using Dominator. It's the dominant buck lure,
Hmm.
and I'll keep adding that one in there until I start noticing chasing, and then that's when I start adding the hot and ready, and then peak rut comes around. I start adding the triple X in there, the peak estrus.
Yeah.
And so basically, what I'm doing there is I'm creating these community scrapes, and they're coming by without me even having to touch them up now and just hitting them. And so once they start that, I'll move along to another side and I'll start doing the same thing.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I've never had much luck with the spring and summer scrapes. I don't know if it's the area that I'm hunting or what. Like, I
yeah.
went in
You got to put
and
it where the deer are, not where you want them to be. I figured
oh,
that out.
absolutely, for sure. And I used a pinch point in a corner of a bean field. They have to. I mean, if they come in from two different directions and they're wanting to go into the bedding, they have to go through this little hole.
Yeah,
And I hung a rope there and with some branch butter. Have had tremendous luck with the branch butter.
it's
Uh,
amazing. I
up to
mean, it's
this
great.
point. Uh, but I wanted to put a rope there and get some pictures and stuff. And man, they didn't they wanted nothing to do with that particular
Wow.
spot or the rope or whatever. Like I had some pictures of them coming through right there, but they would never really mess with the rope or anything like that. So I took it out and I this particular piece that I was doing it on is kind of my honey hole. So I was like, I'm just going to take this out and go back to hunting the community scrapes, or not hunting the
Yes.
community scrapes, getting intel from the community
Right.
scrapes
Right.
that
That's
are
going to tell
already
you all you
there.
need to know. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Uh, how long have you been doing the Black Widow and being a dealer and stuff?
So I opened the store 3 years ago. I'd been using their products prior to me opening up the store, and I reached out to them. I put in my dealer application. They were on board with it 100%, and
Yeah,
I mean they're great people. They're awesome.
absolutely. I've had tremendous, luck talking with everybody, and then dealing with everybody as far as on staff and stuff with Jay Howard and all those guys that
Yeah,
do all that stuff on there. Everybody seems to be really nice, and I've kind of fit in with everybody. It seems like,
yeah, for sure. I carry Josh. Josh Mullins.
yeah,
Yeah, I carry his Gold Digger Wild Game Attractant here at the shop, and
nice.
man, they love it. Those deer love it.
That's awesome. Is that something in so Alabama, right?
Well, this would be, and I do most of my hunting in Tennessee. I've got a few permission pieces here in Alabama, but they're the last on my list.
I got you. I didn't know if you were able to use something like that, like during the season in Alabama,
No,
or
we
what.
are we're a CWD zone.
I got you.
We can't put any feed out or anything like that. Like you can run minerals obviously during the spring, but you can't hunt over them. So
Yeah. That's kind of how Indiana is. I don't even really mess with any of that stuff anymore. I used to put, in the spring and summer, put like some corn out with some mineral with it to help them grow a little bit and whatnot.
yeah,
I've
for sure.
started. I shied away from that a couple years ago. I don't even really mess with any of that stuff anymore. There's so much ag, anyways, and then obviously they transition from ag to acorns and back and
Yeah, for
forth.
sure. When they
It,
cut the crops, man, it changes their pattern. I mean, it really does.
Oh, for sure. Especially here, the ag's so big here. It turns into a maze city. Extra bedding for them, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
it's gone. It definitely switches a lot of things up too. But
And that's when their fall ranges start coming in. They're like, "Man, I got to figure out where I'm gonna go."
oh, absolutely, that's when you
So
definitely need those cameras out for
yeah,
sure. How
yeah.
many cameras are you running throughout the season?
So I think I got 8 or 10 right now. Not too many, but it
Right.
tells me what I need to know.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think I think I'm only running 3 right now. I don't, like I said on here, I think I said it several times. I don't know how some of these people can afford the cell
Dude,
cam bill every
it's
month.
ridiculous, man. I got buddies that are like, yeah, I've got 24 cameras out right. I'm like, dude, what is your monthly bill? Tell me, please, let me know.
Oh, my,
And they tell me it's like just ridiculous, like $200. I'm like, man, that is insane.
yeah, especially if you do it for 6, 7 months.
Yeah, see what I like about the black gates though is you can build your plan to your spending.
Yeah,
And I mean, you can't beat that. I think I'm running. I think I do have 8 cameras at like $30.
that ain't bad.
So yeah.
I'm running 3, and I think they're $10 a piece a month for X amount of photos or whatever. And then the one camera I have, it does video as well, which just came in clutch because
Oh yeah, for
I was
sure.
getting this particular little pinch point that I have a camera on right now. It goes from standing corn into thick bedding, and I got a camera right there. And I was getting some pictures, and I was like, I don't know what it's taking. It wasn't like, a leaf moving or something and setting it off. So I requested a couple of the videos, and just the way they came in, it was like hard for him to get a picture of it.
Right,
And
they
I
were
had,
coming in at an angle, so
yeah,
it was
yeah,
hard for the yeah.
I would have had no idea that those bucks were even coming through there, and they happened to be fairly big enough that I glad that I requested those videos.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that was worth it.
So Tennessee, you're tagged out in Tennessee. What's the rest of your 2025 deer season looking like?
Well, just waiting on getting these deer back from my buddy Justin, man. I'm gonna get them registered and get them scored by Pope and Young,
Hmm.
and then I think here in about 2 weeks I'm gonna go out to a permission piece I have out in Killen, Alabama,
Okay.
and it's only about an 8 to 10 acre piece, but it's surrounded by soybeans and corn. So it's got a pond to the north end of the property.
Hmm.
It's about an acre pond, and they'll be in there hitting that pond for a drinking zone. So it's hardwoods mainly, but it's just enough. And I've had some really good deer in the past come through. I've had a few 140s on camera that I never get a crack at
Nice.
because I mean you can't hold them on 8 to 10 acres. So
Yeah.
you just got to be there when they're there and catch them passing through. And that's one of the pieces I'm going to key in on this year. And I've also got a 86 acre permission piece down in Town Creek.
Hmm.
It's about 40 minutes away from here.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm still trying to locate them there. I'm still trying to figure it out a little bit. I've actually never shot, out of all my years I've been hunting, I've never shot an Alabama buck.
No kidding.
And I've lived here, yeah. There's just something about those Tennessee bucks that are just far more different. Their behavior's different. It's they're I've got those figured out, and I cannot for the life of me figure out these Alabama deer.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot more time this year to try to figure it out
Yeah,
since you're
I'm
tagged out.
yeah, I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna try my hardest.
Is there any other states you're looking at maybe checking out, or is it just going to be straight Alabama?
It'll probably end up being straight Alabama. I looked into going to Crab Orchard up in Illinois,
Hmm.
Wildlife Refuge. I've got a few buddies that go up there, and
Nice.
they were nice enough to give me some locations of where some really good bucks were, and uh, it's set up in funnels and transition areas,
Hmm.
and a few pinch points for them. Yeah, there's some really good deer on that refuge,
Yeah.
but I think I'm just gonna hang out here, honestly.
Yeah, I
I,
don't
I
blame you.
yeah,
It's probably hard too with running a business like that. You probably can't get too far from there either.
yeah. I going into velvet season. I was like, I need just give me the weekend. That's all I need. I've got them figured out. Just give me the weekend, and that's all I needed. So
That's like the opposite of my story. I can figure these Indiana bucks out. I have done it my whole life. I cannot figure those Tennessee bucks out to save my life.
really,
Man. I
how long have
don't
you been
spend
hunting
enough.
Tennessee though? How many
This is
years?
this is like my second year
Yeah, it's
going
gonna
down
take some
there.
time.
Yeah,
I
for
think I
sure.
started. I think I started figuring them out around year 5 or 6.
Hmm. I just
So
hunt so much ag at home
yeah,
that it's a whole lot different than like coming chasing in the big woods, especially mountainous terrain, East Tennessee. I'm coming back down in October to do some hunting again. And maybe even more after that. I'm not really sure, depending on how the rest of the season plays out. I'm going to Missouri and Ohio and a few other places as well. So I don't know exactly where it's going to fit in.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. I don't have any time at all to take a trip to go up north or to to the Midwest to
Right.
go do these hunts because I'm the only person that works at my shop, and you know I really don't let anybody else work it because I want somebody here with knowledge on the products because I won't put anything in here that I have not experimented with, and I want to be able to tell the customers about the products and how they work and the best way to use them. So
Yeah,
because yeah,
that's a
when I
good
get
thing,
work, sometimes when I have workers in here, they don't know anything about it. So
man. Right.
I'm just like I got to be here.
It's hard to find good help, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
A question that I ask every once in a while in here, and it made me think of you earlier when I was putting my show sheet together. A bucket list hunt. What's the top of
Oh
your
gosh,
bucket list when it comes to a hunt somewhere?
man, I would love to go to Saskatchewan.
That'd be
That
awesome for
that
sure.
would that's my bucket list hunt, man. The whitetails up there are just insane.
Yeah, they get big, man. The big old Canadian bucks get pretty big.
I mean, they're just absolute studs. I mean, 300-pound bodies. I mean, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
for sure.
Yeah,
Um, Well, buddy, it's been awesome to get to know you a little bit and hear about your Tennessee Velvet Bucks. And like I said again, congratulations on two super studs for Velvet season, man. Congrats.
thank you. I appreciate it. The first one went 132 and 3/8, and the second one hit 130 right on the nose. So
That's an incredible weekend, dude. I mean,
yeah,
you might go buy a lottery ticket.
yeah, back to back days shooting two 130s. I that's unheard of. I've never. I don't know. I'm forever grateful for the opportunity.
For sure, man. But tell everybody where they can find you and everything you got going hunting wise on socials and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at 7 Points Outdoors. Give me a like and a follow. And if you have any questions about any products that I carry, I'd be happy to answer them. And I also can ship them to you if you need any product from me.
That's awesome. For everybody out in podcast land, hit Blue River Bow Hunting with that rate and review. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. But we'll be back here again next week for episode 129. See you.